Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Myself Vignesh Anand. I am working as a testing commissioning engineer. So in our earlier video I have given some information regarding with the transformer basics, which means transformer, how the transformer works, and transformer how works in a principle of uh, electromagnetic induction, which means the basic things are given in earlier videos. So in this video we are going to see about the testings in our transformer. So normally these testings are carried in our yard, which means in our substation or generating station anywhere else. So the main thing is that the transformer is already get tested in a factory itself with the various of testings. Anyhow, in during the time of transit, which means at the time of travel, it may get damaged or it may get little minor faults. So in order to ensure any faults are there in our transformer, so we are doing the following test in our switchyard or in our substation or in our generating station. So normally the basic thing is that first we need to characterize the testings as a AC and DC test. So mainly the insulation test, winding test, or DC injecting test. Remaining mostly are AC voltage injecting test only, because in DC there is a chance of some voltage get charged in our winding itself. So in order to get neutralize that, we need to short that transformer winding in our earth. So mainly you need to know about these common things for the testing of transformer. So and also mostly we need to give a preference for doing AC test first for our transformer. Then after finishing the AC test, we need to go with the DC test, because the AC test is normal uh, like a low voltage charging, but the DC test or like a get affected with our body itself. So we are using AC and DC both the voltage for testing. So in order that we are categorizing that as a AC test to be done in a preference level, and also DC test should be done after finishing the most of the AC test. So first of all, winding resistance is a DC test, then insulation resistance test, and also a DC test. The DC voltage injecting test, these two are. Then voltage ratio testing. In the transformer consists of various taps, which means nearly about for example, I am saying that in a distribution transformer we have a nearly 3 to 5 taps in our primary side. For to get a desired voltage, we are using the taps in our primary side. So we can easily adjust the voltage. In order to check the taps in a correct position, we are using voltage ratio testings. Then polarity test is normally done for a transformer to check the additive and subtractive nature of our transformer. Then magnetizing current test, which means a no load test. In our secondary side, without connecting any load, how much the ampere, which means the milliamps, I am saying that mostly it will comes in a milliamps level only. So how much the milliamps is getting for a low voltage testings. Then short circuit test, while at the time of shorting the secondary side, this testing will be carried out. Then vector group test. In order to the vector group test is mostly carried for us three phase transformers only, because the vector group which defines the transformer for parallel operation, which means both the transformer can get parallelly for an sequence operation. So in order to check that, vector group testing is done, and this is the one of the main testing of our transformer. Then magnetizing balance test. If any one of magnetizing balance test is mostly carried for if any one of the voltage is get cutted, and automatically it will reflect in other two voltages. So in that voice we are going to check the magnetizing balance test. Then tan delta bushings. So normally the transformer bushings, which means the HV bushings, LV bushings and neutral bushings, which are connected with our conductor. In order to check the bushing healthiness, we are doing tan delta. The tan delta testing is normally carried in for our bushings or even for our CVTs everywhere. So it will check the insulator level healthiness. So which means the insulator which we are using in our transformer, for example I'm saying in our transformer bushings, the insulator will be in the between of our conductor and our transformer. So while at the time of conducting, the insulator will carry uh, some charges. So that capacitor capacity should be checked by the tan delta testing only. So next one, winding combination tan delta, same voice for our tan delta. This tan delta is carried into our uh, with our transformer inside the primary and secondary winding. With that combination we'll do one tan delta, which means the transformer inside the winding and our body. In order to get a clearance, we will do this tan delta testing. Then next is a sweep frequency response analysis. So at the time of movement, I'm saying that at the time of movement there will be a chances of internal damage in our transformer. So in order to check that, we are using this sweep frequency response analysis, SFRA testing. Next, oil breakdown voltage test. So this oil breakdown voltage testing will be carried in our most of the factories, or mostly we itself not do this testing, and it will be carried out in our factories, or it will be the oil samples will be given to any other parties. Then turns ratio testing. The turns ratio, which means the turns, which means that the taps which we are using in order to identify the concurrent taps, and also in order to identify that there is no high resistance in our tappings. So for that we are using the turns ratio testings. So these are the common testings which are doing in our yard, which means in our substation or in our generating station, except this oil breakdown voltage test. So this is our basics testings in our transformer, and further we will explain each and every testings. So please carefully listen to my next coming videos, and also it will be mostly helpful for our future also. So, and thank you everyone. See you in next video. Nandri Vanakkam.